Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of FaciliTech Talks. My name is Naya Raji, I will be your host for today, and joining me is Muhammad Hassan, CSO of FaciliTech.
Thank you, Naya. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I'm excited about this podcast.
Yeah, the first ever,
Exactly.
podcast for FaciliTech and the first episode. I believe we're gonna make it as an intro for this podcast and maybe discuss a bit in general what is FaciliTech,
Mm-hmm.
how you came up with the idea of creating FaciliTech, what is the vision and the goal for it?
Yeah, so, we have been in the IoT space for quite a while now, right? And in the beginning, our CEO, Mr. Asim, he used to be like working a lot with deploying IoT solutions in different industries.
Exactly.
One of the first industries, who took interest in IoT solutions was the facility management industry, surprisingly, because, they're not very tech savvy, but they took a lot of
True.
interest in IoT solutions.
Like why? What do they do?
They saw a lot of
right?
benefit. They saw that it could help them like save cost, for example, and also optimize their resources. Maybe that's why they took a lot of interest, because a small example would be, like from the municipality here in Dubai. You have a regulation that you need to go to the swimming pool as a facility management company and check the readings of the swimming pool.
3 times a day, right?
Actually, yeah, it's 3 times a day. But what the facility management companies observed is, if they are managing a huge set of pools, they need to hire a lot of resources to like just go and take reading. Whereas, with our IoT solutions or the solutions existing in the market, it could just be like something like, you just throw it in the water of the swimming
True.
pool.
So the idea is with the IoT, you will put the swimming pool device, you will
Mm-hmm.
monitor the readings and get the report instead of having a person going and checking the quality
Yeah,
of the
absolutely. So
water.
it automates the whole process, and it removes that cost element for the visits that the technicians have to make. You don't really need a huge fleet of people to manage that. You just
Yeah.
need a few people to manage the devices. So they took a lot of interest in IoT solutions.
Yeah.
However, they work with a tool that they called as CAFM,
Mm-hmm.
Computer Aided Facility Management. Have you heard this before?
Yeah. I've heard
Okay.
it from you, but I think you can explain a bit more.
So what computer aided facility management does is, it's like a planner for the facility management companies to plan their maintenance around the year.
So for their staffs, for
Yeah,
example,
exactly. It also
the
manages their
assets.
technicians, it manages the facilities and equipment. It gives you a full visibility of how you need to do your maintenance operations. So there was a conflict between, I see value coming from IoT, but I still have to look at my calendar here in the CAFM
And
system.
another platform.
Another platform, so two different
Another
systems.
tool completely.
Exactly, completely
And
different
how,
tools.
like, still, like, for me, okay, they're able to get these readings, but then, yeah, how will they integrate it with their management and maintenance plan?
Exactly, that was the challenge. That was the
Mm.
main challenge, because eventually the facility engineer or the technician will be looking at a mobile app which is populating what they really need to do. It's like a checklist that they need to
Okay.
follow, right? So the IoT information should now get populated into that action list, right? Action points.
Right.
So that was not happening, because the IoT had its own ecosystem, and then the facility management had its own ecosystem. And that's when our CEO Asim, he saw a gap in the market that, why don't we create a platform where both of these worlds talk on the same language,
So you put
So
them together.
Exactly. So
Okay.
IoT data will now also get populated as part of the technicians, day-to-day actions list. That's why we created Facilitrol X.
Got it. It's interesting because I've seen in the IoT realm, like, a lot of asset owners, facility managers, they work and they have the IoT sensors, they're happy with it, they get the readings, but then whenever they get an SOS alarm,
Mhm.
let's say water leakage, fire detection,
Mhm.
they're not able to take action upon it.
Yeah, exactly. Because at max, what you could do just with having IoT solutions is just know the situation, right? But you want you want to know the situation, but you also want to action upon it in the right amount of time.
Okay.
That's where we needed a CAFM system that is powered by IoT. So that's why we built Facilitrol X. What Facilitrol X does is, it actually incorporates IoT natively in its maintenance schedules, and also creates reactive and corrective work orders whenever there's something wrong that the IoT sensors are telling you.
Yeah.
So it creates a ticket immediately as soon as, let's say, for example, a very good example you gave is water leakage, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So water leakage happens somewhere like let's say in a critical facility, and what the FaciliTech X will do is it will understand that this is what has happened, and preemptively, without waiting for bigger damage to happen, it raises a work order and dispatches a technician to that site.
So I believe this is what you call moving from the reactive maintenance, where you would have huge damages because the water leak happened and no one prevented it, to having preventive maintenance, which is already done in the market, where you go and check monthly, weekly, etc. Scheduled
It's
maintenance.
scheduled. It has nothing to do with the situation at the site.
Yeah, but the value, what you're proposing with the IoT, is having a sensor which is letting you do a condition-based maintenance.
Correct.
Only if there's an issue, you prevent it to happen.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. So it's basically, moving from let's say a very unplanned maintenance towards a more like prescriptive or predictive maintenance.
And I think this will help a lot facility managers with their contract by like maybe cost saving, right?
Absolutely. And you can see these trends in the market, right? So for facility management companies, as an example, right, so they have, let's take an example, they have a contract for 10 million dirhams, right?
Okay.
And they are servicing the asset owner for the scheduled maintenance, the maintenance plans that they're supposed to do. Over time, what we are seeing is asset owners' expectation is that they want to reduce their budgets for maintenance.
Okay.
So they also expect facility management companies to reduce their costs.
So they don't want to pay this much next time.
Exactly.
Like
so they don't want to pay 10 million again next year. They would want to pay 9 million. So for facility management companies, if they don't really change anything in the way they operate today,
how will they do it?
Then they won't. They will basically lose that project because they won't be able to retain the profitability, right? So which is why the automation and the digitization in the industry is a necessity now. It's important that you need to work on like ways to save costs.
Yeah, so you're saying you want to reduce the contract or the budget in a way
for
the facility managers. How will they do it if they still have the same workforce and as much equipment and as much maintenance to do? So you want to reduce all of these costs for them to be able to have a like lower contract value or lower budget.
Absolutely. Basically, maybe just to add a little bit more onto what you were just saying. So for facility management company, a cost element is just labor and material. Mainly these are the two costs that they deal with, right? So any visit to the site is a cost.
True.
If you manage to reduce any visit to the site, right, then you're reducing cost. And if you have sensors in place on the field, then you don't really need to visit all the time. The sensors are already populating that information. Now, one level above this is also called predictive maintenance. I believe we spoke about this a while back, right? But the way that happens is you need to have accumulated enough data for an asset over time to understand that this is the right maintenance for this equipment.
The trend in a way.
The trend. Yeah, and it's tailored for that specific equipment. So the industry today, the way it works is, it doesn't tailor the maintenance plans according to an equipment. It basically just puts a template, like AC, I don't care if it's Toshiba, if it's Schneider.
I don't care if it's summer or winter.
Yeah, I don't care if it's summer or winter. I'm just gonna follow a template maintenance plan, right? Which is what we call the PPM or preventive maintenance. But with IoT and let's say AI incorporated together, you can finally like tailor the maintenance plans according to the equipment. I think it's something to deep dive into the further like future episodes.
Other episodes, because this is such an interesting subject, which I believe can have a lot of details we want to discuss, and also like see where FaciliTech plays a role in this as well. How is it taking action and how is it following these trends in the market? Yeah,
I'm very excited for this new development. I mean, we have a lot that is planned in FaciliTech as well. So maybe right now we have launched recently with our CAFM system. the computer-aided facility management. We're integrating IoT into CAFM as well,
Yeah.
and we're also incorporating BMS data. So
Okay.
traditional building management systems, if there are BMS systems connected within malls or any kind of facilities, we're also incorporating that data into our platform. We're making it more data oriented, so like
Okay.
to understand the trends. And then we're also building an asset management module which gives you complete visibility of your asset from the point of procurement all the way to the point of retirement. So complete 360-degree visibility of the asset.
Like a life cycle for
A
your
complete life
assets.
cycle of the asset management. We're also building a community management module, which is more on like dealing with the experience of tenants
That
and
I've been
residents.
hearing a lot of demand for this, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Because now the expectation in 2024 from people is we have a lot of IoT and AI tech in the world today. So they expect a better experience of living.
It's all about the quality.
Exactly.
It's not only about cost saving, but when you're giving a service, you want
Mhm.
it to be a quality service. And I think
Exactly.
everything that you're talking about right now plays a role in this as well.
Exactly.
So with the community management, for example.
Exactly. So that's the reason why we're building community management. And again, there's a lot of IoT incorporation in community management as well.
Okay.
So like for example, giving visibility to residents about the air quality, for example, or the water quality in their buildings. There's a lot of standards that buildings have to follow today, like well standard, like LEED
maybe the
standard,
noise in residential
the noise in
areas.
residential areas.
Uh,
So incorporating IoT in this new landscape is something that Facilitrol X is doing. It's really new and exciting, by the way.
Great. Very nice to hear. And I think FaciliTech X is benefiting both the facility managers, people who have the contracts and maintenance to do,
Mhm.
and the asset owners, as well as the people who are living or using these assets or
Absolutely.
facilities.
And also the tenants. So
Yeah.
all the three groups inside the
Exactly.
facility management can benefit from Facilitrol X.
Great. Very nice to hear. Thank you for the broad introduction. But I'm really excited mainly to have the next episode to deep dive into every module of FaciliTech X or even all the trends that are happening in the facility realm or space right now. Maybe we'll have special guests with us next time as well. And thank you for coming and joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
And to our listeners, thank you for watching the first episode of FaciliTech Talks. I hope you will watch next time. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.